Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. As today, we've got cash to collect. Not really much else to say. I mean, that's about as straightforward as it gets. Though, of course, one does have to wonder what complication they're about to hit us with, since obviously we wouldn't be landing if they weren't about to hit us with some sort of twist. But I guess we'll find out.
Once this great vessel was filled with the hum of servo motors and the trill of sacred electrics. But the machine spirits have forsaken this place.
Sure. Is that an orc power claw? Drukhari chest off left, so yeah, we've got like a cold trader stash. Interesting. Some sort of generator.
What?
Don't panic. Look for a power source. We need to turn off the current. Yeah, I'm on it.
Let's not waste time with pleasantries.
I was surprised they actually voice acted that part. Also, that countdown is kind of panic-inducing. Shoot, we're not gonna have time for that. Ow. You better explode, otherwise I'm gonna feel really silly.
Color the uncolored.
There it goes.
Whose innards need take leave of their gods?
Good question, Ulfar.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Methinks we may have just walked into like an all the best toys scenario. A collector turned violently paranoid to ward off other such collectors. A gray, unsightly vine winds through the surviving remnants of the cage, almost merging with the cold stone of the depot. Each tendril of the ragged plant is topped with a single leaf, shriveled but still alive. You have heard stories about the unfortunate souls who were careless enough to get too close to the brain leaf. Its fleshy fronds, each with a semblance of individual consciousness, merge with the nervous system of its victims, turning them into mindless carrier puppets. How strange. This ivy colored its surroundings in a caustic green, just like a predator singles out its prey before pouncing. Never before have I seen a plant able to cast its own color. Yeah, probably best we just leave that alone. I would just burn it, but it might be linked to what's going on here. So we'll leave it be for the time being. Though it does actually seem like we can't interact with it again. I just don't see how any of those other options would have garnered any possible positive result. And I guess that's it. I guess that was mainly just a spot we could jump to avoid the mines.
An expected result.
Which, you know, we were mostly successful on. Though clearly also not done with. What did the guy yell at us when we came in? I'm already kind of blanking on the details. Obviously, that we're not welcome. Called us bass. Oh, here we go. Vox Thief. Jen, did you hear? They're gonna bring in another batch of Xenotech. Life is gonna be good. Idiot, we still haven't dealt with the previous delivery. The clients don't wish to take risks after the accidents. Who cares? There are people with more money than common sense in every system. You know what matters? That's right. What matters is that we're making mountains of thrones. I've got a bad feeling about this. Jen, turn that frown upside down. You'll start looking like our wrinkly supplier lad if you don't. Or is she our supplier lass? Whatever. Okay. Definitely starting to paint a picture here. Careless smugglers moving dangerous xenotech. Strange improvised weapons are laid out on top of the crates. A rocket on a stick, an ugly black and white checkered gun, rusty axes, and brass knuckles. Yes, obvious orc tech. Please tell me there's something here we can salvage. A fragment of an orc energy weapon capable of teleporting targets using warp energy. Roughly sawed off with a las cutter. Cannot be repaired. The particularly strong orcs wear hulking, impenetrable armor, complete with a lethal weapon not entirely dissimilar to a power claw. Nice. I think that's the most overt reference to orcs we've had outside of Jai's backstory. Oh, please. A Stardust plasma pistol. Not what I was hoping for, but I'll take it. Sadly, not much use to us. I prefer the bolt pistol on Ulfar. More traps. A self-propelled rail carriage that once transported hive residents between stations. Oh, and we've got corpses. Also a free needle rifle. The shadow auctions attract connoisseurs of forbidden artifacts. A lot of this size could earn their owners a full shuttle load of treasures. Yes, that is a very statuesque bust. And yeah, I think the big question here is going to be exactly why these people were killed. Oh. Somebody help! Oh. So, can we not... Well, never mind. I guess that's that then. Sorry, bud. There was no way we could climb those steps. There are handprints on the dusty surface. Something was recently taken from here. Painted specialist. I guess I shouldn't feel too bad. Either a raider or... Ooh, nice. Perforated Vox Thief. Hey, Doe, what are you messing with? The big guy said not to touch the goods. Bugger off, Harley, and mind your own business. He has ears everywhere, you know. I said bugger off. I'm not gonna rot in this hole until Pugh gets his shit together. Throne take you, Doe. We've already lost 4 men because of this Xenos shit. Put the stones down, mate. What do you say we wet the old whistle instead? Doe, what are you doing? What are you doing, Doe? No! Get away from me! Ah! Yeah, I'm starting to sense a bit of a recurring theme here. Somebody carefully polished shards of Aeldari rifles and chainswords. There is a label with an individual number attached to every piece. So I guess this is Doe and his friend.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
I think I'm seeing a bit of a pattern here. We might be able to juke in and grab whatever's on that corpse. Okay, that would be a good example of how not to do it. Cass?
I'm afraid not.
Thank you, Cass. So I'm guessing the one in the water must be Doe, considering the Aeldari artifact we found on his corpse. Hunter's Focus. Plus 25 awareness, plus 20% crit damage on single shot attacks. Not bad at all. Might have to toss that to Yurliet. Then we got this guy and someone else. A fresh corpse in fancy attire, likely that of an adventurer rather than a smuggler.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Both strong and wise is Ulfa.
Wonder if we could have actually saved that guy if we'd come from this side. I mean, it's not like this would have put us much closer than just being on the stairs.
This could be an opportunity.
I think that guy was doomed no matter what we did.
What is that?
My goodness.
You're still breathing, I hope? I plan to draw out your suffering. Make you beg for mercy the way my boys begged when they were dying from your bastard Xenos toys.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So that must be, Pugh? The leader of the smugglers, now trying to get back at their supplier, possibly the corpse we found upstairs. A Xenos race called Tau employs self-aware machines they call drones. Judging by the marks on the hull, this specimen was gutted quite deftly. Well, that's a shame. That sounds like fun tech to get our hands on. Okay, and that's nothing. I thought that was where we were supposed to go, but that's actually a dead end. We're actually being channeled through this mess of traps over here. We'll hold off on the fence for a sec. I want to see if we can trigger more comm chatter. Get more details about exactly what's going on here.
A blood-soaked sunset of gold and crimson burns within your soul, but the rest of your colors have faded to gray.
To serve the undying Emperor, one must excise all that is superfluous. What you see is sacrifice. What you see is duty.
Yeah, it seems like a healthy way to go about life. Then again, considering the cult seems to have essentially been built entirely around preventing an eventual gene stealer takeover of my ship, I guess I can't really complain. Though it does, I suppose at this point, also really kind of beg the question of where the cult goes from here. Though, I suppose we do still have the Finger of Sorrow to deal with. That's actually just a couple of sectors over. We'll probably hit that next. The spiky Xeno chest looks like a chunk of solid rock, with no cracks or fractures. One side is decorated with the maw of some hideous creature. Sounds like the Crave. According to the labels, the containers with insulated uniforms and snowshoes were to be delivered to an Astra Militarum quartermaster on the frozen world Xenarag 2. Oh, I wonder if that's the frozen world we found in our Administratum records that accidentally got a shipment of cryopods instead of cold weather gear. That would be a fun callback. The grab bike has been gently washed clean of traces of soot and blood. The attached label reads, "Ordered by Master MLD." This contraption was assembled by a madman. The components do not match one another, and only serve to confuse and confound. But you managed to spot the hidden trigger in time. It's a trap!
Operation successful.
With a monofilament grenade inside. Interesting. Actually, I wonder if we're going to find our missing seal here. The one that we had to replace by stealing one of Winterscale's. Oh, we've got dormant servitors over yonder. You managed to make out the Medusa's limp tentacles through the murky glass. The parasite has died, regardless of what it was being kept here for. Obvious ambush once we round that corner. Let's punch through the fence.
I always have a backup plan.
Avoid the ambush for the moment.
Curse you, Murky. Curse the day I fully my hope. Die from your own wares, you see those filth.
Oh! And we've got Necron. You know, not gonna lie, I've kind of figured when we encountered these guys for the first time it would be like a bigger narrative deal. Outside, I suppose, of the slow boil text events on Viabo 6. Alright, interesting. Wow. And they've got us pinned in here pretty good, too. Pask, I'm going to need you to open a gap for us, bud. So, Murd Key. That's got to be the mysterious supplier with possible relation to Mercy? Jai's supplier? Murd Key and Pew. Pew being the local, I guess, depot leader, the leader of this particular late group of smugglers. Interesting. Wonder what they were trying to do. Rebuild the felled Necron, perhaps? Cass up next. We need to get Abby in position, try to group them up, get them all locked down. Might provoke. No, we're good. Pull. Fantastic. Good to know they're not immune. A very important tidbit to tuck away for when we inevitably start encountering unweakened versions of these things. If not in the main campaign, then definitely in DLC 3. Nice. No response from the drones on that one, though. I mean, we took out multiple Necron, but the drones didn't rush to try to fix them like they seemed to do with that first one. At least that's what I'm assuming they were trying to do. They certainly didn't attack us. There was mention of drones in the Viabo 6 text events, but they were described more as like resource gatherers and repair bots. So I do suspect that while they likely have a melee attack, their primary purpose is technical support. Who's up next? Val, a bit of a ways down, then Ulfar. Weird. Thought it said there were 3 people going before Val. Okay. Well, I'll take it. Let's tuck in. The one far back is the one Abby did not taunt. So that's the one we want to focus down first.
Who if not me?
Free shot will go into the closest. Then disabling shot into the commander.
I'll make it happen.
Sneak a hemorrhage in there somewhere, though I'm not sure these things can actually bleed. Oh, no. Oh, because you're not actually dead. You've gone into a healing coma. Gotcha. But again, no response from the nearby drones. That, however, did provoke a response from the scarabs, which just seemed to be going bonkers. Interesting, interesting.
Reassemblement commencing.
And that did not provoke the scarabs. Huh. I am unclear on exactly what's happening here, but we're winning, so I guess that's fine. Cass? And by Cass, I mean Abby.
In the name of House Orselio, I shall prevail.
Yeah, get him in there, finish the wounded. Keep the commander locked.
At your beck and call.
Forgot to switch off to the new industrial hammer. No big. Not like we really need it here.
Grey hair. sure hand.
Interesting, interesting. So you can kill them when they're in repair mode. I mean, I guess in theory this isn't really a good test case regardless. Since these are weakened and potentially deliberately handicapped versions of Necron. One's inherently limited by their circumstances. Perhaps a taste of things to come, but certainly not fully representative.
Our foes reek of cowardice.
Reassemblement commencing.
That's nice. Oh. Generator, gotcha. Huh, bayonets. Noted.
Indeed. I'm not interested.
Yeah, just hang tight. You're fine. We're pretty much done here.
Caught by the web. Let your soul be purged. Come, the other side awaits.
Oh. Well, that's slightly awkward. Alright, fair enough. I mean, if anything, this will be even easier than the first round, because this time we are not ambushed. And also not trapped in a corner. Pretty much same strategy as last time, just reel them all into Abby. Keep them locked down, trim the edges. No immortal commander this time, but we do have an empowered death mark. Nine stacks, nice. Well, that's not where I wanted that. Why? Okay, whatever. Not gonna sweat the details. I don't feel like we're really under much threat here. Especially after Cass clusters them all up. Yeah, I don't know what those guys are supposed to be doing, but whatever it is, they're clearly not. Pull.
You will not undo me.
Oh shoot, can we sneak in a lidless gaze? I didn't really position Pask for it. That's fair. Let's just get him locked down.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
And fall back. I don't suppose we can... No. How about this? That works. Okay. See...
Sleep is over.
I think that's literally the first time we've seen the scarabs work as intended. Too late now, though. All right, Kibbs, do your thing.
As the tenants demand. As honor ordained.
Assemblement commencing.
Yeah, see, they're clearly supposed to fly over and repair, but for whatever reason, when they trigger that reaction, they're not following through with the repair action. They're just waffling around until they burn all their MP. It's fine. Sometimes you just gotta move on.
I shall not fail.
You will not undo me.
Well, that sounds like a challenge. But I would like to tag everyone else in before I double back, so... One sec.
My blade whispers your name.
Big hit on Deathmark. Nice. Ooh, very close. Tag in the drones. And rewind. There we go. Though I will admit, I thought I had a hit slated on the death mark as well, but I guess it's ultimately kind of a moot point. Ulfar, could you please mark this guy off?
None can do this better than a warrior of the All-Father!
Also, I just realized since they teleport away on death, we can't grab their gear. Which I suppose explains why they just dragged a whole Necron obelisk in here. Uncanny Sphere. The pictograms are embossed on a perfectly smooth surface. But when you try to read them, your head begins to spin, and the symbols inexplicably change their positions right before your eyes. The artifact has exhausted its power, and will remain dormant until the sphere is returned to its core and collects enough energy. Which obviously we shouldn't do. And it turns out we can't regardless. Fair enough. Though it does make me wonder why give us the sphere then? Implants resembling the limbs of an enormous insect are stacked inside of an airtight container. A note taped to the lid says, Ramgal Rakmal... screw it. Push this on some not very bright customer.
It is imperative that we rid this world of xenotech, which defies the teachings of the machine god and the very essence of his laws. With your permission, my servitors will later cleanse this place.
Well, let's not be too hasty. I'm sure we can find at least a few things here that are worth using for the greater good.
That's how it's done.
Fresh delivery from Murd Key. Aldari weapons, 5 containers. Orc rubbish, 10 containers. Drukhari armor. Cha-ching, baby! 3 units. Unidentified Xenos shit. What, again? I asked them not to bring this to us anymore. Question mark units. Okay, so yes, Murd Key is their supplier. And they were sending them dangerous goods, either just out of general greed and carelessness, or to specifically get these guys killed. Broken box. Let's see what this one tells us. Big Q lost what little remained of his mind since Murdkey brought in the latest Xenotech haul. I understand that in our business every man looks after himself, but Murdkey doesn't even blink an eye when his booby traps mangle our fellows. We spent 3 days mopping up blood, and he just kept dragging more rubbish into his cabin, nursing that vile chunk of stellar metal, and glaring at everyone like a wild beast. Throne be my witness, I will personally cut the Strixus down with a chainsword if he brings us another dangerous artifact. We're honest cold traders, not heretics. Okay, so Murdkey is their supplier. Big Q became crazed with vengeance? Question mark? Phrasing there was kind of murky, but we'll keep digging.
Curse you,
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Something Xenos filth. Gold Xeno idol. Light flickers on a metallic figurine. One depicting a mysterious alien amphibian. Yeah, that thing gets around. The moldy pages contain knowledge of heretical sorcery. Most are crude forgeries.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
This ancient tome seeps with decay and purple rot. Do not approach it. I mean, I'd like to at least get a look at it, but yeah, I guess that's fair. I'll think on that. The scrolls with broken seals of the Ordo Xenos describe the process of studying Aeldari test subjects. Lovely. Right, yeah, this must be the Inquisitor section of their storehouse. Yeah, what the heck. I can't resist. The weighty tome is bound in the skin of a human face, laced with a cord woven from tendons. A sinister crimson symbol dominates the cover, but it is difficult for you to make out. The details elude your scrutiny, and the strokes twist and shift, furthering the confusion. Yeah, you know what? I think Cass might have had the right idea on this one. We'll just go ahead and burn that. The fiery tongues reluctantly lap away the taint of heresy from the book, their warm colors fading as they engulf the tome. The bloody symbol on the cover melts, and you hear a shriek so loud that the pain pierces your eardrums. The final flash reveals the heretical sigil in full, but only a moment later. You cannot recall what it looked like. I mean, look, I'll take that over having it forever seared into my brain. Gentlemen? The table is strewn with expertly forged seals, Adeptus Administratum forms, Astra Militarum entry passes, and even an inquisitorial rosette. But not our missing seal? You sure?
You see these corpses? These fine lads and lasses paid the price for my greed. As for your lives, we'll both be receiving the Emperor's punishment, that you can be certain.
Right. Okay, we'll take out the generator, that's simple enough. But let's see if we can also have Ulfar take out the servitors. In theory, he should be able to get them all in one sweep. But it does get weird when things are moving around.
Become the All-Father's worthy instrument!
Fall back. Ulfar, bud. Didn't quite work out as intended, but, you know, Ulfar had fun. That's the important part. Let's go ahead and crack that mess of traps. See what that's all about. The reserves of promethium fueling the local generators have almost run out.
I'm still new to the art of exploring.
Okay,
Is it wargled or a trap?
Hey, here we go. Disguised Vox Thief. It's alive! Alive! What? Why are you screaming? That thing, it just latched onto Lufa's face and she went mad. Throne be damned. Cut it off! Cut it off! Hey guys, what's wrong? We're missing the Drukhari crates, lads. But I was told to look after the sounds of several bursts of bolter fire. Run, 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 run! What the? Oh, Throne, take me! Ah! Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm going to say Brainleaf, Medusa, Necron. All hazards we've encountered during our exploration. Thus illustrating the fates of those who came before. It does seem like these guys all died trying to cross the trap field to get whatever's tucked into that final case and back. Also, level up. Nice. I'll worry about that momentarily. Let me just get the rest of these traps out of the way. My curiosity has piqued. I'd like to know what this was all pointing towards. Honestly, I'm actually kind of glad we still dumped Demo as a secondary on Kibbles. Comes in handy for these situations where Ulfar is too ungainly to squeeze into the gaps. Nice. Which does give us access to the chest, but we might as well clear the rest of these. Oh, tricky. Okay, let's see what we got. Though we should switch Kibbles back off to our visor real quick. It was these, right? Yeah. Alright, so let's see what we got. What did you all die trying to get to? Corpus Scari Oath. Unique arc rifle. Enemies that are hit by this weapon suffer an irradiated effect that lasts for 3 turns, decreasing all healing received by 50%. Also prevents using reanimation protocol for 3 rounds. Anti-Necron arc rifle. That does make sense. And Victim's Sorrow. When the wearer hits a target in cover with a ranged attack, this attack always scores a crit. Interesting. Sadly, completely useless to us.
Is there money to be made?
The containers are stuffed to the brim with dry rations and corpse starch. Such quantity of provisions could feed a small detachment for months. And a raised control room, which the dungeon does seem designed to channel us towards. Either approach would have ultimately brought us here, though I also notice there's no one living up there, so who's been talking to us? Unless that was all pre-recorded? We do have an interactive cogitator up there. The guy lying dead center might be Pugh. Alright, well, you know what? We've got to level up in the queue. This feels like a good place to call it. I would go ahead and push up there, but, you know, my Dungeon Master's senses are tingling something fierce. This definitely smacks of a trigger the final revenge sort of scenario. So yeah, we'll hit the pause button for now. I'll figure out these level ups, and we'll pick up here next time, as things get punitive. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
Whose innards need take leave of their gods?